Hey guys, welcome back to the Gregorio Girls channel. My name's Shauna and today we have our July favorites video for you. So I don't really have too many favorites, to be honest. I only have like a handful of products. I have some disappointments as well. So this is probably going to be a relatively quick video. But before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit that little notification bell. That's just going to notify you when Devin or I post a video. So definitely hit that button so you don't miss any of our videos. And then let me just stop rambling and we can get right into this favorites video. Okay, so the first product that I have is the Makeup Forever Hydrating Primer. So I got this in my Ipsy bag, and this little tube has actually lasted me a really long time. And the reason I really like this is just because I feel like I don't really need that much, and when I put it on, it's just like super smooth, and it feels kind of like watery, not like too watery where it just feels like you have no product and half of it is just literally water, but it just feels like nice and smooth and just kind of like really luxe when you put it on. It just doesn't feel oily. Like I hate when you put on like a hydrating primer and it's just oily and it makes like, I have combination skin, so it can make my T-zone like feel really just like wet and slick. This for a hydrating primer doesn't do that to me, so I really like this. And whenever I use this, my makeup stays on all day. It doesn't move. It doesn't move on my nose. It doesn't move on my chin. I just feel like it really just grabs onto my makeup and holds it in place. So yeah, I just really don't think I've ever tried a primer that I really like as much as this one. However, this is relatively expensive. You can get a full-size tube of this at Sephora, and it does cost $37. So clearly it's a very high-end primer, but I definitely think it's worth it. So next I have a few lip products to talk about. So the first is the Buxom lip cream in the shade Hot Toddy. This is their lip gloss, and this is what I'm currently wearing. I just feel like this is like a Your Lips, but better type of color. And I've just really been liking glosses during the summer, and Hot Toddy has quickly become my favorite. Again, it just kind of looks like it's my lip color, just with like a little pizzazz on top. So I really like this. And again, this is another travel size one, but you can get a full size of this at Ulta for $20. All right, we are like flying through this video. So next I have the Rimmel London Stay Matte Liquid Lip Colors. Obviously, we all know, I say it a million times on our channel, that I like nude lips. So I have the shades Latte to Go and Mocha. And I have to say, I have been liking Mocha on me a little bit better just when I have some color. So I've been wearing this a ton. So what I love about these is, one, they're drugstore, so they're super affordable. And then two, for a matte lip, they are so comfortable. They don't dry out my lips. They don't like, you know, dry them and break them apart and, you know, get all like cracky and crusty or anything weird like that. So this is Mocha, and then this is Latte to Go. Sorry, my lines are like drunk. They're like super crooked. I'm sure I'm gonna like this one a lot better as like fall and winter come in. But I've been using Mocha, and I kind of thought it would be like really dark, but it's actually a beautiful color. I just really like these, and I can't say enough good things about them. This is probably one of the best matte lipsticks I've ever tried. And then I can't remember off the top of my head how much these are, but I want to say they're between like $5 and $8. And next we have another drugstore product. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes Mascara. This is what I'm currently wearing, so let me just show you. I really like this. I just feel like my lashes are like super dark, super long. They're like separated. They're not clumpy. It gives you the volume. It gives you the length. It gives you that like nice dark black lash color that you want. So yeah, not much else to say about this, but I just really like it. And mascara is one of those things for me that like I feel like you can find a decent amount of really high quality mascaras in the drugstore that I don't really go to like the prestige brands for mascara. For me, I just kind of feel like it's a waste of my money because I know like I've never been blown away by a prestige brand mascara to the point where I'm like, I have to buy this and spend 20 bucks on this when I can get, you know, something like a L'Oreal or a Maybelline that's less than half the price of some of these higher end mascaras. So I'll get off my soapbox, but that's just my opinion on mascaras. And you can get this mascara for $9 at Ulta. Alright, so this is my last favorites product before we move into my disappointments. As you guys know, in my last favorites video, I mentioned a hair mask. I mentioned how much I've been loving doing hair masks in between deep conditioning, and I found another one that I really like. This is the Hempz Original Deep Conditioner and hydrating hair mask for damaged hair. This is what it looks like. I believe this is $10 at Ulta. And if you ever tried their lotion, this smells just exactly like their original lotion. And again, I won't talk about this too much because I know I already talked about another hair mask in my last video. Again, you just wash your hair, you come out of the shower, you put this on for like 10 minutes and then go back in and rinse off and you're good to go. I especially like this one because it is for damaged hair and my ends get so split and just so dry so easily, so I really like this one. So if you do have dry or damaged hair, definitely give this a try in between your deep conditioning nights. Okay, and on to my disappointments. This next one, I wouldn't say it's like a total disappointment, and I wouldn't say like I totally loved it. I feel like it's like favorites, disappointments, and meh, and this one's kind of like a meh one. So this is a Skin Food Egg White Pore Mask. So I mentioned before that I have been like on the hunt for really good, affordable skincare. So I was in Ulta, I figured I would try this out. I think this was like $11 at Ulta. I will say like the good qualities of it is like there's a lot in here. I know you can't see because it's like white on white and the lights are washing it out. But there's a lot. It's kind of thick, so you really don't need too much. You can get a lot of uses out of it. But if the product itself isn't that great, it kind of defeats the purpose. So my first problem with it is kind of like the smell. It kind of goes away, but it kind of smells like old sunscreen. I know that's really weird, but that's just kind of like what it reminds me of. And it doesn't last long, like I said, it goes away. But then I don't know if you can like really see the texture in there, but it's like pretty thick, which again, this isn't like terrible for a mask, but for me, when I like first look in here, I'm like, this looks like plaster. Like to me, it just looks like plaster for some reason. That's what it reminds me of. And I kind of don't like that. And again, maybe I'm just being weird or just being a brat, but when I first tried it, I was like, ugh, I don't really like the way that that looks. Like, I just feel like it looks like I'm putting plaster on my face. Like, that's kind of off-putting. And I've been testing this out for a few months now, and I'm just like not here for it. Like, I just don't really like it. So on the website, I believe it claims to be like pore minimizing. And once I first wash it off, like it definitely looks like my pores are smaller, but I just feel like that result doesn't last. I'll do this at night and then I'll wake up in the morning and my pores still look really big. So right when I washed it off, it looks great, but you know, a few hours after, it's like, we're back to square one, you know? So if you're gonna do a mask, I feel like you kind of want the results to last, especially if you do it a lot. You kind of wanna see results over time, if that makes sense. And I really just don't. And then when I go to wash this off, again, I don't know if it's because it's so thick, but I'll like splash my face with the water and then it kind of comes off in like chunks and pieces. And it almost reminds me of like paint chips, like paint peeling off the wall, and then they're just like thick and goopy and get like all in my sink. I don't know, I don't like that. It's just weird. And like I'm not really sure that this does anything like to clear up any breakouts. I feel like it's just one of those masks that kind of goes on your skin. You wash it off and then it's like you just kind of like did a mask to do a mask and not to have the results that the mask is supposed to bring you. So I don't know. This is kind of like meh for me. And next, like I had previously mentioned, I am looking for good, affordable skincare and makeup. So I figured I would try out some drugstore eyeshadow palettes. And I tried this NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette. This is the Warm Neutrals palette. And I've heard like mixed reviews on NYX palettes. I've heard like sometimes you get really good ones and sometimes you get not so good ones. And this was definitely a not so good one. I can't even freaking open it. Oh my god. Here we go. As you can see, like the color scheme is beautiful and it's, you know, neutral and stuff that everybody pretty much would wear. So I really wanted to try it, but these shadows, especially the mattes, are just like super chalky, super not pigmented. Let me just like swatch a few. Like, that didn't even happen. Like what? You know? Those are some of the mattes. You can see like they are not good. Okay, and then these three were the shimmers. Like you can't even see that. Like you can't see any of it. Like I had to go in like this 100 times like in my brush just to get any color on it. And then you have all of that and it still doesn't blend out well at all. I tried spraying the shimmer shades with some Fix Plus, and that didn't even help. It just was super underwhelming. It was not pigmented. It was not very blendable. It was chalky. and like the shadows, like the shadows barely exist. Like they're not even there. So I was like super upset because it is like a beautiful looking palette in and of itself, and I really did want to like it, and I really did want to be like, hey, I found a really good drugstore palette, like blah blah blah, this is so great, but I didn't. But that's fine, I will continue my search. So yes, that was the NYX Warm Neutrals Ultimate Shadow Palette. So this was a no from me. But that is it for our July favorites. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and then click that little notification button so you get notified when we post. And of course, don't forget to follow Devin and myself on Instagram. I'm at Shauna Greggs and she's at DevDevGreggs, and we will see you in our next video.